Okay. Great, 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 great grandfather. Come on. And my stream just keeps crashing. My stream keeps crashing. I am literally trying. And I'm trying very hard. I'm trying very, very hard. Fair enough. I'm just very frustrated and I can't view the stream in my browser. My browser is literally frozen right now. Everything in my browser is frozen and basically crashed. My computer is slowly crashing everything. So I just get to view everything on my phone, which seems to be running fine. I no, it's fine. But yeah, people they don't like reading the paper. Um, when I have like when I have papers that explain, like I write down and I draw, hey, I'm nonverbal, but I'm okay. They don't like to read that. They don't like anything like that. Not a fan of them. Luckily, I think we should be okay for now. Hopefully, unless my thing crashes again. I'm gonna exit out of Discord because Discord crashed as well. Everything's just, crashing because it's reflecting my mental health at the moment. Quit Discord. Quit Telegram. definitely frustrated with how many times my stream has crashed tonight. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know why my computer is being this way. I mean, probably because it's a piece of shit, but I'm very much frustrated with my computer. And I was trying to explain that most actual jobs don't want someone who's deaf or mute, and that's the reality of most jobs in America. Because any job I have applied to, when I explain, yeah, I'm disabled, and I do go nonverbal from time to time if I'm overwhelmed or overstimulated or overstressed, they frown on that, and they automatically put you on a do not hire list. Because if you cannot participate as an actual, like, working employee and do what they need you to do, which is being able to talk or explain stuff when it needs explained, they don't want you. Like, I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm not trying to be, like, unrealistic or scaring people, but that is the reality of things here in America with people who are disabled or people who are deaf or mute trying to get jobs. So when people ask, like, people who are disabled, why can't you work? Why can't you work an actual job? Because I don't see you with any physical limitations or anything. And then a person explains that they're deaf or mute. People are like, oh, well, you could still work from home. You could still do online work. No, actually, a lot of online work, a lot of work from home jobs involve being on the phone sometimes, or answering calls, or being able to talk to customers if you're in the customer service department. And you know what you can't do if you're mute or deaf? Answer calls or talk to people unless it's like a text to speech or like speech to text and like basically a text chat. Because if it's a having to do phone calls thing, that's just not being able to do that. And most work from home jobs are usually you have to have a phone, you have to have a computer or access to the internet, and you have to be able to be good at communication. You know what most jobs think when people are mute or deaf trying to get a job who are disabled? They're not going to be able to do their job. That's what they think. And a lot of jobs see this as this is a reality. We can't hire you because you can't do the job that you would be applying for. And so when people online or stuff just kind of be like, hey, why can't you work? Why can't you do a job? How are you disabled? How I'm disabled is none of your business, nor is it none of your concern as to how I'm disabled, because dear Lord, there is a lot of issues I have. I could write a book, and that book would traumatize people. And I prefer not to traumatize people, so I don't write a book. A lot of times, doctors even say, wow, you could write a book with everything you got going on. And I'm like, no, thank you. I have enough trauma. But a lot of things that go on with me prevent me from working an actual job. Most jobs in the area I live either want you taking phone calls or they want you to be able to communicate with customers, stand for more than 8 hours on your feet, be able to have limited bathroom breaks, and don't want you to call in, especially if you have like a family death or a medical appointment or something like that. They don't want you calling in. They want you to just come to work and work. And it's dumb, but a lot of times if you are physically unable to do what those jobs need you to do because of your disabilities, a lot of people who are very ableist will tell you you just make excuses or you just make medical excuses as to why you can't do something. And it's like it's not a medical excuse, nor is it a excuse or like me trying to get out of working. It's legitimate limitations of my body, my physical, my mental, and my health. It's like, yeah, legally not even a question in Canada. Here in America, if a person has a baby, they basically get 3 days off maternity leave and then have to come back to work. If someone's family member dies, they get maybe a day off for that funeral and then have to come back the next day. Like, it is incredibly dumb and very, very. I'm trying to think of a word. There's a word that's used for, like, places like that. It's inhumane, but that's not the word I'm looking for. America's a very work driven, ableistic thing. In America, the dads don't get maternity leave. Only the moms get maternity leave, but they only get 3 days maternity leave. Some jobs allow for a month of maternity leave, but that is rare to few. Few to rare. Like, there are places over in the UK, they offer you 6 months of maternity leave if you have a baby, so you can properly take care of the kid, and you get paid for that maternity leave so that you can properly take care of the baby. Whereas in some countries like Canada and the UK, Australia, places like that, they also have paid maternity leave for the father so that the father can be there for the child and the mother and be there to support the baby and the mental health of his wife or partner or the mother of the child. Like, that is a reality for some countries, but here in America, no. No, absolutely not. Like, that's really dumb. Like, yeah, it's really dumb. But no, we value mental health here in America. Do we? We totally do if you have enough money. Like, the only way that people can basically get mental health care is either you are disabled and have health insurance, or you work a good enough job that you can afford to pay for a psychiatrist and a therapist and go to them and afford it. Like, that is very scary. A lot of my friends that need mental health care currently can't get in at the moment because there are waiting lists that are super long, or they cannot afford it. Because guess what? Whenever you reach a certain age, you lose health insurance and have to basically apply for health insurance that you have to pay for. And some people have to either make a decision of, do I want health insurance or do I want to live in a house with a roof over my head, pay my bills, and be able to afford food on the table? And it's not great because mental health is really important. Like, you can't work a job efficiently if your mental health is hitting the shitter. You cannot work a job efficiently if your mental health is completely deteriorating to a point of burnout constantly, to where you lose your job because you couldn't function as a valid worker or employee. Like, mental health is important enough to where, like, if you lose your job due to your mental state, well, you don't get food and you eventually lose your house. And some people basically put the like, in some cases the Canadian healthcare system will will just suggest maids. Yeah, I'm not, that's one reason I don't particularly want to work, like want to move to Canada. Like everything else in Canada sounds great. Like healthcare is always covered, and LGBT rights, trans protection, and like marijuana and stuff and everything. Like the things that are good up there are good. But when it comes to the mental health aspect and the disability aspect of Canada, that all sounds okay up until the maids point. Because that to me is super, super scary to even consider that as an option. Like, I'm not okay with that. Like, for me, whenever I learn about stuff up in Canada, I'm just like, oh, this doesn't sound like too bad of a country. And then they bring up maids, and I go, oh, what is that? And I look it up, and I'm like, no, thank you. Maids is only really suggested to military and the old and extremely sick. For me, part of my conditions are that if there are people around me that get sick, I get sick like a day or two after they've been sick, but it hits me extremely hard to a point where I am bedridden. Like it is very bad if I get sick and my body basically feels like it's dying. Like it is terrible. Um this part of my condition is that I don't have a very good immune system. So if someone's sick, it's very bad. If someone had the Corvid, I'm going to censor that because Twitch does not also like that talk either. Um, if people have the 2020 virus thing, that's been around for 3 years, that still is around, and I were to get that, I would not be able to fight that. So, yes, I am fully vaccinated. Yes, I take precautions, and I try not to do a shit ton of events per month, but I do events and interact with a lot of people. But I take precautions, and I always try to test afterwards if I'm starting to feel sick. Like, I take precautions because it's very risky for my health. And if I have people that basically become friends or they want to meet or hang out, I try to make sure that most of them have either been vaccinated or not been in contact with someone who have had it, so that there's a little bit of safety net there, because I don't want to take that risk. But there's a lot of people that are like, I don't need to be vaccinated, or I shouldn't need the vaccine to be able to hang out with you. It's like, I'm sorry that you think that, but I do not want to die. Yes, humans are important. Yes, having friends is important, but I am not going to die upon just meeting you for the first time. Like, I am not going to die for you in a literal sense. That has not reached that point in this friendship yet. Please take a step back and take precautions. Like, it is just some people, they don't have the mindset that other people's health is important. They don't have the mindset of, oh, I need to get vaccinated so that I can protect those around me and loved ones who have a weakened immune system, or that I have elderly grandparents that could be on their deathbed at any time, and so I need to be safe for them so that they don't pass sooner than I want them to. Like, people don't take that into consideration, that it doesn't just affect those people, it also affects children. And children's immune systems are not the best, because you know how many people get the flu, like during flu season in school? Like, this, they have literal times where schools will have to basically shut down for a week or a month because, oh, guess what? There was a flu outbreak, and every kid in school came in contact with every kid in school, and everyone's sick at home with chicken noodle soup, cartoons, and some ginger ale because, kids didn't want to, like, wash their hands, wipe their noses with tissues instead of their sleeves and their hands, and then shaking hands with other kids or sharing toys that they've put in their mouth, or like chewing on pencils and then handing them to someone to borrow, and that person chews on that pencil. And I'm not a germaphobe, but I'm very aware of how kids interact. I have worked in a daycare before. I have babysat many times before. And yes, there are things at the art events that I allow, like when parents get worried about their kids touching the stuffed animals I make. I am okay with kids touching the stuffed animals I make because they help find a texture of material they like that is comforting. However, if they're bringing sick kids to events, they probably shouldn't be bringing the kid to the event. I'm just saying, like, just use your brain. Please use your brain. For the love of God, please use your brain. Like, as a parent, use your brain. Please. Like, for the love of health and all that is holy, please. Like, Culver's root beer, this is all facts. Modern parents don't have brains. Some of them do. Some of them really did not get an education or basic human anatomy study done. Like, some of them did not take anatomy, nor did they take basic human health. Like, some of them just. They decided to look at a biology book and go, yeah, that sounds great. But where exactly is that part on this body? There's an anatomy book in front of you. I know, but that's all like, that doesn't look like an actual body. That's a literal map in a book of where things are in your body. I know, but like, who reads maps? Apparently not you. Are you using GPS on a daily basis? What are you doing whenever the GPS signal fails? Do you have a way to have a map printed off that you can read? I say that and I use a GPS, but like, also I have dyslexia and maps kind of actually don't work out the best for me, especially with being directionally challenged. GPS is helpful for me. However, if someone were asking me directions and I'm like, it's over there, and then you turn there and you go there, go down there, make a left, go down that street, go to the right, go down that street, then make another left, and you should be there. Yeah. So you don't have a street name? No. You don't have like a landmark or anything you can give me? Yes and no. Okay, do you have a direction you can send me that will get me to the correct spot on time? About that. So we might be like 1 to 2 hours late if you're having me give you directions. And I have proof of that from trying to give substitute bus drivers in school directions when I was in school. Okay, it's like, oh yeah, the pyro sleeps in the morning. They can give directions. I can do one now. Pyro can give directions. Eh? I was asleep. Yeah, you can give directions. Since when can I give directions? Okay, I guess I'll just go off of what I feel when the bus is moving when I'm asleep. That'll work, right? 2 hours later. Please excuse the students off bus 11. They are late to class. There were some technical malfunctions with the bus, and we had a few unexpected things come up. Getting off the bus, going to class. Yeah, Pyro! Thanks a lot, me. Good God, we're late. We're late. Like, please, if you value your sanity and getting somewhere on time and getting the correct directions, do not ask me for directions, because we will get lost. Hell, I will get lost in the house or giving you directions in the house. If you are looking for something in the house, you are going to get lost and then be more confused than you already were. This is why I would like to label a lot of things, like in the house. Just label them and put them somewhere visible. Just labeled. It's labeled. There's a label on everything. There you go. It's very, very organized. It's literally piled on the counter with labels on it. It's organized. Let's just move past that. It's just like it's definitely, there are things and ways I would like to organize stuff, but that is expensive. This is expensive. Like, I've seen the organization videos that people post with like the organized cans and drawers and like juice boxes all in a straight line in a fridge, and like the soda cans all in a straight line in a drawer, and like all the little snack trays just piled up on top of each other, put in a little cubby thing, and like all the little things in their place, the labeled jars on the counter with all the stuff filled in them, refilled and stuff. And I'm just like, it's so neat and organized. And then if I got my hands on it, it would be destroyed within a couple minutes. Like, I would love it to be organized, but then my brain goes, oh, it's organized. There's a clean space. Now we can do things. Does things. Shit, where is everything? It was there. Now it's not there. Now it's somewhere. You know, we're just gonna push this over here. We'll come back to that, put a pin in it, like come back to it, post a note, just, all right, post a note, write down, organize, counter, tomorrow, bah, then come back tomorrow. I had a post-it note here somewhere. Where did I put that post-it note? Oh, why is there a pile of stuff on the wait, did I have a post-it note that told me that I was supposed to take care of the stuff that was on the counter? Where did that post-it note go? And it'll be right there, but my brain will see everything else and go, there was a post-it note, and I know I wrote one, and I put one here. Good God, it's like Houdini. My post-it notes are Houdini. Where the fuck did it go? Sees like 2 post-it notes right there. Oh shit, there's 2 of them. Why are there 2 of them? Do the organization tomorrow. Do organization tomorrow. Yeah, that checks. That definitely maybe I should organize that. Hey, look, something shiny. Like that is kind of how that goes. Like, I'm like, I should organize that. Hey, wait, what's that over there? Oh, that needs organized. And then like get 17 different projects going on at one time because my brain's like, hey, yeah, we should do that one thing. Yeah, so we should do that one thing, but here's like several other things we can do as well. But we can't multitask. Well, no. We can multitask. We can multitask. Like, when was this a thing? Like, did someone update like our processes and go, hey, multitasking installed. Congratulations, you have achieved multitasking level. Because last time I checked, multitasking wasn't on our task list because, like, we try to multitask and we're more lost than we started out with. Like, yeah, starts the organized counter, but then ends up 8 different things. 6 hours later, tries to get to the middle of organizing counter, gets distracted by like 7 or 8 more things, and goes, when am I going to finish the counter? 16 hours later. Have you slept? Good question. Can I come back to that? Have you slept? Have you ate? Have you drank water? I know that that's a human function, like this eating and drinking water thing. I know it's a thing. I know it's a thing. Humans do it. People do it regularly, sort of, kind of, I'm assuming. And apparently you're supposed to do it, and they do the sleep thing. Last time I checked, no, and no. Did I get that? You need those to function. do I need those? Cause like, do I need those? Like, I'm pretty sure I can be okay with those without them. You need those. You will literally start losing your sanity. I had sanity. Shit. When did I have sanity? Did someone like gift me insanity subscription or like sanity subscription? Cause like I'm pretty sure sanity wasn't on my like items inventory. Like I went through my inventory. Sanity was like kind of an empty slot. I've got like slipping into madness. That one's there. I've got chronic depression. Yeah, that one's there. I've got anxiety. I've got empty fuel gauge. What the fuck is the empty fuel gauge? When did that get in there? Oh, you're supposed to refill that. Wait, how do you refill the empty fuel gauge? Eat, sleep, and drink water. Oh, yeah. So, how long can I run without those things? Like, that is, yeah, that about sums it up, kind of. Like, I get very distracted. Um, very, very distracted. Because like sometimes my pain levels will get really really bad and I'm like, you know what sounds good? If we distract ourselves, then we don't focus on the pain, and if we don't focus on the pain, it doesn't exist. And then later, whenever I finally give myself time to let it exist, I'm like, oh dear god, what did you do to your body? I don't know, we kind of just ignored the pain and did a bunch of stuff that we thought we could, so you added more pain. No, yes, maybe, kind of. No, I existed? Why is existence pain? That's a damn good question. I would love the answer to that. Like, why is existence pain? I don't know. Did bad luck of the draw? Did you did you piss off death? No, death doesn't want to take me to the afterlife yet, and freaking life's just like, look, we're throwing things at you, but you keep catching them and you just throw them back, and I don't get it. And just, I would love to understand. It's like, oh, you know what sounds good? We want this person to have an extensional amount of pain each day. Are you sure about that? Don't worry, they got this. Do they? Because they seem to be breaking down a lot. Don't worry about it. They are literally like breaking down. It's fine. You sure you don't want to fix that? No. It'll fix itself. That does not look like it's fixing itself. It looks like it's progressively getting worse. No, it'll get better. It'll get better eventually, sometime. Does eventually mean that it won't ever get better till they're like close to perishing? Details are minor. You don't worry too much about it. Can we do anything to help them? You know, I never really factor that in yet. Like I got the process going, and the existential pain is like chronic, but I honestly didn't think of a way to fix this. So you installed the pain existence, but you didn't install like a reset button or like a fix like antivirus or anything like that. Yeah, no, there was already a lot of stuff in there, so I just kind of like left it without a yes. Like I said, eventually it'll work itself out. By it'll work itself out, do you mean they'll work themselves to death or push themselves too much, or they just won't know how to handle it? Yes. And we let you create this why? I don't know. Entertainment Live, Comedy Central, we all get our laughs somehow. You get your laugh somehow, so you just this is funny to you. What am I supposed to do? Sit up here and have no entertainment? There are literally like 7 billion people in the world. You could maybe not cause like chaotic existence and pain and suffering. Well, yeah, I did consider that option, but then they'd all be too happy. And when they're too happy, I don't know. It just seems kind of. I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable. So it makes you uncomfortable to see them happy. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Just a little bit. Don't worry about it. That is how I feel. Fair enough. But, like, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I'll have to go back to the station for that one. Um, I don't know. Just, like, I forgot where I was going with my thought process. I know I had to reset my brain. But, like, it's like my brain just kind of went like, I do wish we had your 2A laws. I don't know what the 2A laws are. Two A 2NY. Eh? Second Amendment. Oh, okay. Hi there. I was like, wait, eh? Oh, actually, technically, in several states in the US, we may have the Second Amendment, but like in the state I live, it just passed a law back in August of this year that people who have a history of mental illness are ex-convict or um what was it? There's or are a minor cannot cannot legally purchase a pew pew. Here in the state I live, if you have any mental illness, you cannot purchase or nor own a pew pew. If you're a ex convict and you have like completely cleaned your record or anything like that, you still can't have one. Um, if you're a minor under the age of 18, under the age of 21, actually, you cannot have one. But in Missouri, you if you are a minor and have an adult present, meaning it could be a teacher, it could be your parent, it could be an adult figure over the age of 18 near you, you can have a pew pew as a minor and carry one legally. And I'm just like, I thought we were supposed to be fixing the violence problem, not encouraging it. Whereas in Texas, you can legally own a pew pew, but you cannot, you know, not be gay in Texas. You can legally own a pew pew, but you can't not go to church on Sunday in Texas. You have to legally be going to like a church or something, and you have to have a church that you are part of. But your Second Amendment says fuck that law. And technically, yes, the amendment does give the right to defend yourself if the government is being unlawful and ungovernable and going against the people that it's supposed to be for. We do have the right to defend ourselves and our view of the country. However, with the way that a lot of things are with corrupt politics, the current political system, the police system, law enforcement system, that Second Amendment becomes less of a you have a right to own a gun for defending your rights as a citizen, and more so a hey, if you want to enact violence, you can enact violence kind of thing. That is what that has become since about 1960. That has been how the Second Amendment around the 1960s progressively got into, hey, we don't like people of color, so let's start, unaliving the people of color with guns, and it be completely okay because it is a right to defend ourselves in the Constitution, Second Amendment type thing. And I'm just over here going, no, absolutely not. That is not what that meant. But no, we apparently had to develop a very strong hatred of lots of things and racism to an extreme point to where we have very bad organizations trying to like eliminate people who were originally here and stuff. So that's a thing cuz America, we love our rights and we love our freedoms. Yeah, the freedom to be an asshole, the freedom to judge people, the freedom to not allow you to express yourself when it says you can express yourself, and the freedom to be a dumbass and not learn proper education. Yeah, that's the freedoms we have. That's my opinion. That's basically what I know, but I know there's a lot of people that probably won't agree with that. So, Herreres, I don't know who that is. But aside from that topic, like, because I know that the topic of the can be a bit the running for Texas Congress. Yeah, there's a guy running for Congress in Texas. Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of pew pews, to be honest. I'm honestly not, because a lot of people use them to support war, and I'm not a big supporter of going and causing nor doing war because violence and death is not my idea of peace and love. That is my opinion. I think people should conversate something out and actually sit down and be adults about it. And if they have problems with each other, have a cooking battle and eat the worst kind of food ever if they lose. So, you know, that's my opinion, but not everyone sees it that way. And that's okay. Like, do I think that people should be allowed to use the pew pews? Not unless they've gone through a whole gun safety course, not unless they've gone through a whole like training course, mental certification, and actual mental evaluation of where they can be trusted with the said appendage attachment thingy, their extended pants thing. Like, I'm not gonna go into like labeling it a, appendage thing, but their second, third, fourth appendage, I don't fucking know. Like, I think they should go through a background check and get a mental evaluation and be mentally stable enough to actually use that, and to where they won't actually hurt other people in a bad way or an unjust or unlawful way, unless it is justified. Like, say someone is taking out your family. Like, I can understand defending yourself in that, but not unaliving the person. I would let the courts dictate the unaliving of the person, because personally, I don't want that on my conscience, and I wouldn't want to have that guilt kind of like flood me for the rest of my life. Like, I can understand losing your family in that way would be devastating, it would be horrible, it'd be immensely mentally devastating, but I don't like the idea of unaliving someone, because mentally, I don't think I could process doing that. And that's just my own mental stance on that. Whereas there are some people who would fully be fine with that, fully be capable of that. That's them. For me personally, my personal, like, like, my personal preference is that I don't want to unalive someone. That's not what I want to do. Plus, I've had a lot of medical training. As easy as it would be to have access to things, I can never see myself being that kind of person. Like, I prefer to be kind to people. I prefer to protect people. And I prefer for people to feel loved. The idea of harming someone goes completely against my morals and my obligations as someone who trained in the medical field and took a code/oath to never harm your patients, never harm any of the patients you are having to help. And even though I'm not in the medical field anymore, I still uphold that code, because that is something I believed strongly in. Even if I went through a lot of medical malpractice or people in the medical field that haven't exactly enacted that code, I uphold that code for me personally, because that's just how I feel. When you agree to do something, you take an oath to do something, that is something you have to keep your word on, something you have to honor. I am very adamant about honoring a promise, a code, a obligation that I have set for myself. That is where my morals lie. But I've had people in the past on like TikTok and stuff be like, you have no morals, you have no moral compass, and that is completely wrong. My moral compass just isn't where their moral compass is. In the possession of it's you or me, I'm doing my damnedest to make sure it's me coming out alive. And that's fair. Personally, a lot of conversation about like the no longer existence may not set well with some, but let's try not to talk too much on that subject, just because that can go down a very dark road very quickly. And I do value the mental health of people in the chat and stream as well. I do like talking about stuff, and I do like talking about like just about anything we can talk about, but I also want to make sure that we are taking into consideration that some people may not have the headspace to deal with those type of conversations. And yeah, I took an oath, and what I take away from that is that an oath is something you honor. You make a promise to someone, you keep that promise. You make a promise to never lie to someone, you don't ever try to break that promise. Especially if it is something that has to do with their safety, do not lie to them. Do not. You be honest with the person you made that oath to. You made a promise to never lie. You honor that. You don't ever break that. I like I don't know, maybe I'm just a weirdo that takes things too seriously. Maybe I take promises and oaths too childishly to where I feel like I can't break them. Maybe I'm just weird for that. But that's where I stand with where my morals and moral compass lie. Like I cannot break those types of things. For me, those are legally binding contracts of word, of action and honor and respect. And not everyone's going to have that not everyone's going to have that view like that. Not everyone's going to believe the same way. I am fully aware of that. But for me personally, as a person and as who I am, that's how I am. Like today, I made a promise. I made a. Like, for me, I know, yes, I'm having a bit of issues with my pain and stuff, but I kept telling people and kept telling everyone and friends and stuff that I'd be streaming on Wednesday. When I say I'm going to do something, then I go through with it. I do it because that is my word and I keep my word. And I want to make sure I don't break that, nor do I break that trust with people around me. I don't want to say something and be all talk and no action. For me, I was raised to do more action than just talk the talk. I go through with what I say. The only reason I haven't gone through with something else I want to is because I value people around me and I love my cats and I have very silly reasons for keep going. I have conflicts of interest, or else that would have been a thing 14 years ago. Well, actually, technically 17 years ago, that would have been don't worry about it. But the reason I was a bit not wanting to end stream or getting a little bit upset about people asking me why I would stream and stuff, or why not just end the stream, is because I told people I would stream, and for me saying I'm going to stream and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do that and stuff is essentially like me trying to keep my word and stay true to that. I don't like lying to people. I don't like not honoring what I say I'm going to do. And the thought of lying to a bunch of people makes me feel kind of sick and makes me feel like, ha, and just doesn't set on my conscience correctly. Like, it makes me sit there and go, I honestly feel like I'm needing to like claw into myself because that did that like just lying to people in the past. Anytime I would try to like honor a friend and then they're like, "Hey, don't tell this person, but their boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating on them with so and so, and don't tell them or they'll get really really upset." Don't do that to me. Okay? Don't do that to me. Cuz moral obligation says that person needs to know. I don't care if they'll get upset. They need to know because that partner should be honest with them. And that partner should be truthful with them. And that is not okay for me to be like, "Hey, you can't tell this person because this will make them upset and even though it's the truth, they shouldn't know it." If it's the truth, you should tell them. Good God, motherfucker. Hey, honestly, honesty, be honest with someone. Like, don't lie to someone. Like, anytime I have tried to lie to someone and be like, yeah, no, I didn't get you anything for your birthday, but like went out and bought like a birthday present the week before their birthday, like, yeah, no, I didn't get you nothing. I mean, like, no, hey, so what do you think of this thing I found online? It's like, looks really cool, right? And you'd like something like that, right? Like, you like that kind of thing, right? Yeah, why? Oh, okay, good. I just, checking, just checking. Did you get me something? No, I didn't get you anything. No, no, dude, like it's like I would remember your birthday. Not like I haven't planned that for like 2 months in advance. Like, no, I would never ever get you anything for your birthday like last minute or anything. No, I didn't do that. No, I am. Oh no. I. You got me something, didn't you? Okay, okay. Could you promise not to get mad? Did you get me something? Yeah. You couldn't keep that like you couldn't lie to me, could you? No. No. I tried. I gave it a good honest try. Yeah, you're not good at lying. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm really not. Did you even try to lie? Yes. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't try to do that cuz you're really bad at it. I know. Like that is how I am. Like I cannot try to lie to people. Like it's like a like a glitch in my programming. Like, oh, we got this lie setting here. Oh yeah, toss that out. What do you mean toss it out? Every human has a lie setting. No, toss that out. Are you sure? What if they need it for like a protective thing? Like, what if they're in like a situation where their life's at stake if they don't lie? I, mm, you mm, mm, mm. Put that over there on the side. You mean in the pile with all the other stuff? Yeah. Want to get lost in there? No, we'll find it when we need to. So just leave it out there and away from. Yeah. You don't see a problem with this? No. Uh huh. So what? You think they'll be able to lie to people? No. That's a good thing. To each his own, right? What if it's never necessary to lie? Okay, but then why does that politician get to lie to that country? That is necessary for strategic chess playing, my friend. So the world's just one big game of chess to you? Hey, life's fun in games, right? My Nana's possibly getting me a gaming chair. Congrats. I want to get a new desk eventually. That is an expensive one. Granted, a lot of things are expensive to me. If it's over $50, it's expensive. Hell, if it's over $25, it's expensive. Like, I put a shelf back at the store today because it was $30. I'm just like, no, no, I know I need one, but I don't need it that bad. That's a little bit too much for me. That's a little bit too much. So you don't want to pay $30 for a shelf? No, no, I don't. I could pay $10 for a shelf. That is reasonable for me. I'm going to head to bed. It was fun playing and chatting with everyone here. All right, BK, have have a uh, have a good night and happy time zone. You don't want her to, even though it's a rent to own thing. Fair. I I feel like I am a terrible person. Random thoughts tonight, but I'm probably gonna hop off here before my brain decides to hit the spiraling fan and vortex of terror that awaits me before I sleep. So, anyways, have a good night and a good time zone wherever you are, because it's like 3 in the morning for you as well. Normally, you're in bed around midnight, or my time, so like 1 in the morning your time.